Real Shalom. This the brother Katazi Hawad back at it again with another lesson, man. And real quick, I just wanted to. This gonna be a real quick hit lesson, man. I just wanted to go into because a lot of these Christians, a lot of these different folks, or different Jakes that's just finding out about the truth. A lot of these women is caught up in the fact that men can have multiple wives, right? But at Great Millstone, we tell you it's not expedient to do that. Even though brothers gonna do whatever they want to do in these times we in, it's not the most expedient thing to be doing, man, because it can take away from you doing the work for the ministry, man, doing the work of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. So first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rucha HaKodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in this truth and faith and sincerity. Shalom to the families out there who are watching, waiting, praying on Yahweh Shai's second return. All right. Shalom to the house of David, the hopeful elect. All right. So, like I said, man, there are some brothers that have, two wives, three, whatever it is, or more, whatever they got going on. But as a man in this truth, you just want to make sure that you're doing right by the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai by doing the works, okay? By preaching this word, right? By teaching, putting out lessons, okay? Studying to show yourself approved, all right? And we're coming into some times where, times are going to be real perilous. It's going to get real lawless, a whole lot of chaos. And judgment is about to be brought down on this earth, man. All right. So, if you got a woman, man, if you got a wife, you know what I'm saying, be happy, be content, if you will. All right. But if you just want you another wife or two or whatever's going on, man, it's not unlawful for you to do it. You're not sinning by doing it. You're not going against the scriptures by doing it. All right. But let's talk about why it's not necessarily the most expedient thing, man. Starting with Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right, as we tell y'all time and time again, man, the prophecy of Jacob's trouble is coming to pass. Jacob's trouble is right at the door. All right, a societal collapse where there will be no running water, no electricity, no grocery stores, right? The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, right? No Wi-Fi, all right? No cell service. Shit gonna get real primitive, if you will, and real lawless and chaotic, all right? But the hopeful elect shall be saved out of it. Right, so that's the importance of returning back to the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai and coming out of the world. All right, pray, fast, and repent. You see, and if you're dealing with, multiple women, it might make it hard for you to do that just because, you got to entertain them to a degree. I'm not saying like be they monkey and entertain them, but I'm saying as far as, you might want to do a lesson, for example, and then it slip your mind because one of your wives or something said, oh, like, let's do this, and you went to go do whatever that was, right? Whether it was, I don't know, going on a fucking hike or I don't know, something, right? Whatever it is, and then doing that lesson might have slipped your mind, you see, which is taken away from you doing the ministry. Doing the work for the ministry, right? Which is supposed to come first, right? So if anything, if you're a brother that can maintain that and manage that, then I'm saying, all power to you. All right, if you're able to do the work for the ministry, present your body as a living sacrifice, and still be able to make time for your wives and stuff like this, then all power to you. This is Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Right, so 2/3 of Israelites are going to die. All right, they're going to be cut off, and during Jacob's trouble, a lot of them are going to get killed, and a lot of them are going to get preserved through Jacob's trouble. Salakia are going to get preserved through Jacob's trouble, for the sake of destruction, for the sake of being missile food. All right, when the nuclear missiles hit Babylon the Great, and motherfuckers gonna get burnt up. All right, in verse 9, and I will bring the third part to the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Right, so in the 1/3, the hopeful elect, Yahweh Shemel Shai, Lord willing, we are of the hopeful elect. You sincere brothers and sisters out there, Lord willing, we are of the hopeful elect. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai will bring us to the fire, and will refine us as silver is refined. Right, and make us stronger, make us better, give us new bodies, make us immortal. You see? They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. You see? So, doing the work for this ministry for the sake of, Yahweh Shai, who sacrificed himself. Right, that's the most important thing, man. That's key, is doing the work for this ministry, man. And having faith really is key, ultimately, but we do the works as well, as we called to. All right. Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and all that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Right. So the day is coming, man, where a lot of motherfuckers gonna burn up in that lake of fire, man. Which is not hell, because hell ain't a place, as we went over time and time again. Hell is not a place. All right, that lake of fire, written in Revelation 19, Revelation 20, and I believe Revelation 21 as well. That lake of fire speaking about is the prophecy of Babylon the Great being burnt up with nuclear missiles. All right. So behold, that day is coming. All right. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. What's the hour of temptation? That's when the so-called white man Esau presents his, that Neuralink brain chip shit, and the chips that they want to put in your hand. You know what I'm saying? The RFID chip. All right. The hour of temptation is them wanting to do it. All right. Them presenting that as a way of order out of chaos. Right. Because shit gonna be real lawless and chaotic, and Esau is basically gonna say, all right, for us to get back to normal or whatever the case is, take this chip, take this motherfucking chip. All right, and a lot of people are gonna take it. A lot of people are gonna fold and they gonna take it, man. All right, so you hopeful elect brothers and sisters out there, you sincere brothers and sisters, y'all already know, stay built up in the faith and in the spirit, man, of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and don't take that chip, man. Do not take that chip, or your ass is grass. You know what I'm saying? You done for. Alright? It's Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right? So that hour of temptation is going to come, right? And it's going to be like, if you want to go from city to city, if you want to travel, if you want to buy shit, whatever the case it may be, man, you're going to have that mark. You're going to have it to be a part of normal, to what they deem as normal society. All right? And you know, a lot of folks get it misconstrued, like when we talk about multiple wives and stuff, and they think that the sole purpose, you know, is just because brothers just want to fuck all day long or something like that, you know, which is some weird shit to think. You know, yeah, a lot of us brothers have, you know, high testosterone and, you know, high sex drives, you know. While that's true, you know, it's also just biological, you know, that men want a variety of women. You know what I'm saying? Especially the Israelite men. Alright? But men in general want a variety of women. You know what I'm saying? Just real quick. The top 3 websites in the world are pornographic websites. The top 3 websites in the world. Alright? Take that. The majority of subscribers on OnlyFans and sites like that are men. And also, they subscribe to many different women on OnlyFans and different sites like that. If you go on social media sites like the Instagram, Facebook, shit like that, Snapchat, the women predominantly have a following of men, right? Especially women, you know, that be provocative and shit like that, right? Especially them, but women in general, all right, have a predominant, you know, male following, all right. Strip clubs are filled with married men, you know, men in relationships, single men, whatever the case it may be. So remember, across the spectrum of everything I'm naming here is single men, married men, you know, brothers in relationships, niggas in relationships, whatever's going on. All right. Strip clubs, blade walkers. All right. If you're from the hood, then you know what the blade is. All right. That's where the prostitutes walk. Okay, that's where they work, on the blade. All right. And so you got different individuals, different men that pick up these 304s, right, which is a hoe. They pick these 304s up off the street corners, man. All right. To go do what they do. You see? And so if you bundle all of this up, what is it telling you? It's telling you that men have an insatiable thirst for sex that one woman simply can't, you know, appease, if you will, or satisfy. All right. So not that, because we don't condone, you know, masturbating, watching porn, you know, shit like that. You know, but dealing with harlots even is biblical. You know, dealing with harlots is biblical. All right, and it's not, you know, it may be frowned upon by society, but so is a lot of things that are biblical. You know, when you bundle all that together, you understand that men like a variety of women, want a variety of women. You see, they follow all these different women on the social medias, or they subscribe to all these different OnlyFans, or they you know, see different strippers at the strip club, and at different strip clubs pick up different 304s off the blade because it's a variety. It's not the same one. You see? So, you know, that's just a quick biological reason for why men want to be with more than one woman. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, we living in a time, you know, where all these prophecies are coming to pass, you know, and it's not the most expedient thing if it's taken away from you doing the ministry, from you, you know, working for the ministry, doing the works. You see? Let's go to Revelation chapter 19, and I'm going to give verse 20, let me get the point. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, right, this beast system, Esau's system, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, right, deceived all you motherfuckers out there who gonna take that chip, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. So the nuclear missiles hit, and everybody who took that chip gonna get burnt the fuck up, man. Alright? And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. You see? And so the rest were slain by Yahushua. Okay? And they fucking carcasses got fed on by vultures and shit like that. Alright? So, you know, you gotta understand, man, it's real important to put this ministry first, man, to put Yahushua first. Alright? I was just reading Baruch 4. I don't think it was something in here I wanted, but I was just reading through. Baruch is a good book as well. Alright? It's like 6 chapters or something like that, yeah. Baruch is good as well. There's prophecy in there as well. And there's just a lot of heavy scripture in there. Yeah, man. That's basically the point on that. I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna get the prophecy of Isaiah chapter 4 and 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So before or during the time of Jacob's trouble, you know, or as it's vastly approaching, like, you know, women are going to want to be with a man, and they're not going to mind cheering him for the sake of their protection and safety. You see? For the sake of their protection and safety from all the shit that's going on in the world. Alright? You know, so you got women now who like, I don't want to share my man, and I don't want to be with him, and he want other women, blah blah blah, all this bullshit, right? Well, when shit hit the fan, you ain't gonna have no problem then, because your biggest problem gonna be is if you a woman and you alone, and gangs of motherfuckers is roving the streets. You know, you a woman with, let's say, an 11-year-old daughter, a 9-year-old daughter, or something. You know, they gonna get y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Judgment is about to befall this place, and I'm talking about shit like that, like gruesome shit like that. Alright? You know? So, for the women out there, stop worrying about if a man want to be with more than one woman, man. If he want to be with more than one woman, so what? At the end of the day. Alright? For brothers, it's not the most expedient thing, you know, but urges is urges. You know, you're not going off if you do it. You're not wrong if you do it. You know, but this ministry is what's most important. So if you can find that balance, you know, all right, more power to you. You know, but understand that this ministry comes first. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua comes first. You see, even before family. You know what I'm saying? Before children. All right. So in the kingdom, of course, y'all, you know, women, y'all gonna fall in line, you know, because men, all of the men are gonna have multiple wives, multiple. I'm talking about many women. It's how we're gonna bring the kingdom, bring the rest of Israel back who died on this side. All right, Lord willing, we be of the hopeful elect and make it to the kingdom. All right. You know, and we're gonna be immortal, right? So we can't die, we don't get diseases, you know. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, man, because it's gonna be so beautiful, because the Lord Yahweh Shai is is going to give the elect men their heart's desires, man. He's going to give us our heart's desires, and we're going to be able to give our women, our wives, and our children their heart's desires. You see? It's going to be beautiful, man. Like whatever our wives want, man, whatever our children want, we're going to be able to make it happen just like that. You see? It's going to be beautiful, man. But like I said, I kind of strayed off. I meant to go into how, men are going to be a hiding place, especially men of the Lord, men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's Isaiah 32:2. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, right? From this destroying wind that's coming, a wind or a tornado, if you will, of destruction that's coming to hit this place, man. And a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, right? So in that day and in that time, man, a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, his covering is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? And so for you women out there, your covering would be a man of the Lord. Not these fake ass Christians and shit like that, or any of them wannabes from the other camps, man. Sakari, ISUPK, whatever the fuck, Wi-Fi, Watchman for Israel, alright, IUIC, One Body Yahweh Shai. Okay, all these different groups that's going off and don't got the truth. Alright? I'm gonna just be the one to say it flat out. You're better off getting with a man, brother of Great Millstone, because we got the 100% truth. So you're better off doing that. As far as if you want to be preserved. If the Lord wants to preserve you, for the kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Your best bet is getting with a brother of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And if you're with a brother that calls on the name Yahweh Shem Yahushai and has the 100% truth, right? Just stay in line. You feel me? You be alright. You know what I'm saying? Because that brother is your covering, as Yahweh Shem Yahushai is his covering. You see? So bottom line, women, don't put too much emphasis or give too much of a fuck, basically, about, your man wanting to be with more than one woman. If anything, let's say you a woman out there right now, right, and you got a man. If anything, you should be trying to bring him your friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying how it is. If anything, you should be trying to bring him your friend, right? You got a friend that you close with, because think about it like this. You could be sister wives with some woman you don't even know. And y'all gotta try to get along and get to know each other, whatever, which works, But also look at, if your sister wife was actually your friend, somebody you was already cool with, and then, you with this man of the Lord, this man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and y'all bring her into the truth as well. You see? Yeah. That's basically the point on that, man. Alright? Because also we live in a time where especially in California, but I know it's it's rough everywhere, especially for Jake. We in captivity, of course. But one income in a household for the average person is becoming increasingly difficult. All right, so let's say it's a brother, man of the Lord, right? He go to work, take care of his bills, all that what he want, and then he got a wife, and then she bring in like her friend or something. Boom, now they sister wives. He got two wives. That's 3 salaries in one household. All right, even if the 2 women are only working part-time jobs, but they bringing all the money to the man of the Lord, and he's pulling it together and making sound financial decisions, based on the guidance of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, and praying to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai and asking for guidance, and and asking to be led by the Lord in the Spirit, so that way he can lead his household properly. You see? But yeah, man, that's the point on that. All right. You know, we're living in a time where prophecy is speeding up. It shall not tarry, as the scriptures say. Prophecy will not tarry. You know, it won't wait. It's speeding up day by day. I know we all can feel it. Each day is just rolling by faster and faster. Each day is rolling by faster and faster, man. So, you know, it's not as expedient to be dealing with multiple women, you know, in the form of wives, you know, spending time with them and all of this, and it take away from the ministry. That's not expedient. But if you can manage it, you know, while doing the works, you know, then by all means, you know, do your thing. All right, it's not uncommon, man. And one more thing I wanted to point out before we close out. And this don't even cover all of the examples, but this is because I think I read like a couple more examples on my own in like the book of 1st or 2nd Corinthians. I forget, but I read a couple other examples on my own, and you know, but these is just examples of men who had multiple wives. All right, Moses, Jacob, our forefather, Esau, Abraham, our forefather, Lamech, all these different men, right? Solomon. My computer lightweight froze, or it's acting hella slow. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. But Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Alright, hopefully y'all was able to hear me through that. My computer fucking up and shit. It's computer ass. But yeah, man, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Alright, and it's biblically lawful for a man to have, you know, concubines as well. Alright, you know, which in today's time would be like a side chick, if you will. Alright. Yeah, and also let me just I'm gonna close out with this last scripture. It's in Exodus, but I forget where. Exodus 21. I was thinking 19 for some reason. Exodus 21:10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Right. So, you know, you got to be able to take care of her. You know what I mean? You got to be able to take care of her if you're gonna take another wife. You know, which is taking up more of your time to a degree, which should not be taken away from the ministry. You see? Yeah, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish, meaning, you know, you're gonna have to do that. Obviously, you're gonna have sex with her. You know what I mean? With both of them, if you will. You know, not at the same time, because we don't promote that. We don't promote polygamy, but rather polygyny, which the difference is. A polygynous relationship or whatever is when a man has 2 or more wives, and those wives, they don't do like no lesbian shit with each other. You know, they only have sex with the man, only their husband, and at separate times, right? Like, and not in the same room. You see? So yeah, man, that's the point on that. You know, it's biblically lawful for you to have more than one wife as a man, just not as expedient in these times we in, you know, but a man is gonna do what a man wanna do. Alright. So that was just a quick hit on that, man. Until the next video, shalom. Give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in this truth and faith and sincerity. Shalom to the families out there who are watching, waiting, praying on Yahweh Shai's second return. Shalom to the house of David, the hopeful elect. Shalom.